So please confirm if my voice is loud and clear.
Yes, ma'am. Your voice is clear and the vision is also clear. I can see you as well.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
So,
Okay, good afternoon. How are you?
very good afternoon, ma'am. I'm so well. Thank you so much for asking. What about you, ma'am?
Yes, I'm doing perfectly fine. Okay, so
Yes,
tell me
ma'am.
more about
Yeah.
you.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. I'm Vaibhav Trivedi. I'm from UP, Uttar Pradesh, and currently and my district name is Barabanki, and currently I'm staying in Lucknow. And here I'm working in a hostel as a hostel warden. And my qualification is MCOM, and I have completed it in 2020. And I have also created my YouTube channel 3 months back, and which is all about spoken English. And I create these kind of conversational videos, and I post there. Name of my YouTube channel is Vaibhav Trivedi English. So yes, ma'am. So these are the things all about me. And talking about my hobbies, so I love singing and talking to people, playing harmonium. Yeah, that's all about me.
Oh, you're an artist.
Thank you so much. And yes, ma'am. Somewhat.
Mhm. Okay, so do you want to know about me or do you already know?
Ma'am, I don't think that you need any kind of introduction
Mhm.
because you are quite popular, well-known person on exactly now. So I think I found you somewhere. There are two qualities. Two things are different from others. One thing is that you don't have any other hobby. Means your profession is your hobby. That's the main thing. I have watched a lot of videos of yours, so I found this thing that you are too much passionate about your YouTube. And really, ma'am, a second thing is that you you became renowned on YouTube very soon. I think you joined only few months back, 5 to 6 or maximum
Yeah,
7 months back,
yeah.
and your channel is going very well. And congratulations, ma'am, for that. And yeah, I got to know very soon about you. I think 3 to 4 months back. I have been practicing my English for more than a year, but I found you approx 3 months back, 3 4 months back. And rarely I miss any video of yours. I watch across all the videos, especially your solo videos. There you provide precise information, and I try to follow it and yeah, execute it as well.
Yes,
So
because
it is going
there
well,
were
ma'am.
some people who are not very much interested in conversation videos, so they want solo videos as well. So for those kind of audience, I just put some solo videos, and it is for my satisfaction as well. Because even I want to create content. Conversations is different, but creating your own content is different. So I wanted that kind of satisfaction as well. So it doesn't matter about the views, but this is what I'm doing for myself.
Yes, exactly, ma'am. But I have seen you are getting lot of views, ma'am. Very lot of views. I would not say, ma'am, that it is only fate or it is not your effort. You are putting lot of effort because I have seen this is my personal experience. Earlier, I would see your videos were pretty normal, and nowadays you are putting lot of efforts. You are editing it and providing informations. When it comes to informations are quite well. Even it used to be earlier and now. Informations are absolutely fine. But when it comes to editing and putting lot of efforts and devoting your times, so you are devoting that things, ma'am. I think this is the only reason why your channel is growing very rapidly, and it is
Hmm.
going well, ma'am. Yes, I'm so happy. And ma'am, really, if I tell you, I wanted to talk to you even I think about when I watched your first or second video. So I wanted to talk to
Oh.
you, and there you were talking to Sunil sir. Speak
Yeah,
more
yeah.
with Sunil
Very
Kumar.
early on. Yeah, when I
I
started
think
my channel, very early on, I had a session with him.
yes, ma'am. So I was watching that video, and I found you both were really very fantastic speakers. And I know you are in Turkey tutor, but nowadays you are not teaching there, but
Mm.
you are working your entire time on YouTube. So these things are going well, ma'am. That's why I wanted to talk to you. And fortunately, I got a chance because
Mm.
I knew that you are very busy. You have very hectic schedule. Even if you are not doing any kind of job or something, but in your work, in your own work for home, other works as well, and YouTube. These are the things I think that's why you're not
Mm.
getting time.
Yeah, because I get so many mails in a day. It is very difficult to choose whom you want to talk to and whom you want to disappoint. It's very difficult, honestly. And my serious apologies to all the people whom I'm not able to answer. But very soon, I personally I want to talk to every person who mails me. I want to talk to everybody, honestly, but being human, it is difficult. Yeah, but I'm trying my
Exactly,
best.
exactly, ma'am. And if someone is trying and getting chance in 1 or 2 months, then it is fine. Okay, we should wait for that because I was waiting, and I can say I have nothing to say about that. So I was only waiting. I said, let's send you another mail. So, ma'am, I sent you mail second time because I know this thing very well that you might be getting many mails and
Mm.
choosing one of them and giving time. And I know that you are quite consistent at every day at 12 o'clock in the noon
Yeah,
time. Your video will be out. So these are the things handling. It's a very tough thing. So yes, ma'am. So thank you so much, ma'am, for publishing these kind of good contents for learners like us. So we really like very much your contents.
thank you so much for the acknowledgement. So your English is very fluent. How did you learn?
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, I started my learning only by watching videos, and I started watching videos, and then suddenly I found an application named Joe's Talk, Joe's Talk, and there I paid very less amount, ma'am, 439 rupees. And still, I sometimes use that application. And in the special part of that application is you can use that application 24 into 7, anytime from anywhere, and you would definitely find people. And there are, I think, approx lakhs people. So sometimes we find there are some serious learners, and sometimes we find because the price is very cheap. So sometimes we can find some learners, those who are not interested, only taking the advantage of it, of very less price and wasting their time, or maybe we can say enjoying. So sometimes they eat our time. Otherwise, it is okay. So I started from there, ma'am. And you can understand, ma'am, it was my curiosity, I can say. I started watching people, watching a lot of videos. So the thing which I speak, I think I have learned a lot only by watching videos, only by watching, ma'am. When it comes to speaking, so I speak really less. But I think I should speak little more. But when I have to speak, so I give time approx 1 hour, sometimes 2 hours. But when it comes to watching videos, I watch a lot. I watch a lot. Whenever I'm free, I watch only. And if I don't care that which kind of content I'm watching, that content should be in English only. So
Mm,
that's how I started. Yes,
mm.
ma'am.
It's very nice.
But
Yeah.
exactly. So when you have to start your journey, so I found that since your childhood, you started speaking English in your home, and everything was there. You had an
Mm.
environment. Especially, a special thing is that you are a bookworm person, ma'am. I'm not. So how to develop this habit? Really, I want to ask you how to start the habit of reading because I do not enjoy while reading. So when I enjoy, maximum 1 or 2 pages, not more than that. I can't read, and I do it once or twice in a week. So please, ma'am, tell me something. Something about some any kind of remedy so that I can read little more. I want to read more, but I do not enjoy seriously.
So what topic are you interested in? Do you like stories, drama, or thriller, or politics, history? What do you like?
And except politics, approx, I like all the things except politics. I don't like it, ma'am.
Hmm. Yeah,
Really.
then you can read some drama books, right? You can read Chetan Bhagat novels because they are very you need to keep anticipating what will happen next. So if you read these kind of books, they are like addictive because when you watch a web series, you want to know what happens in the next episode. So you
Exactly.
don't have to remove separate time for it. You will want to finish what I want to know what happens next. So that thing will get you back to it again and again. So choose that kind of book, which is really nice. And initially choose a thinner book because if you choose a book which is really bulky, then you don't feel like, oh God, I need to finish this much. So better not to read it. So better choose the small books just when you are creating that habit. So choose Indian authors which are easier to understand. So like that you can start having a habit, at least 1 page, 2 page. So if you choose something like a thriller or suspense books, you will want to know what happened next. So that thing,
Exactly.
the book will bring you back to reading again and again. So daily 1 page, you can like that you can finish it. Initially, don't go is like I need to improve my English, and then for that reason I need to read because that thought itself will start feeling boring to you. So just read it as a book, as a story. So once you get that habit, you can continue the practice. You can go to more advanced material, international authors, different topics, like that you can try.
Exactly, ma'am. So, ma'am, by namesake, I have four books. But when it comes to reading, so I tried once or twice to read two books, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind and Atomic Habit. There are two other books, Deep Work, and even I don't remember the name of both books. So, yeah, Rich Dad and Poor Dad. So I found that book, Rich Dad and Poor Dad. I'm not criticizing, ma'am, but that language of that book is quite sophisticated according to my level. So I couldn't read that book even one page. I didn't read that. And sometimes I read Atomic Habit and Power of Your Subconscious Mind. So I found Atomic Habit is easier than those three books. So Atomic Habit sometimes I read. But ma'am, as you said, you are absolutely right. In Atomic Habit, we don't know what is going to happen next, and what is the end goal, and what will we get after that. We know that we can optimize our habits. We can start a new habit. We can break bad ones. But when it comes to finding quick pleasure, so we do not find that.
Hmm.
And how will
Hmm.
we get that? And at which point we will find that? So this thing is not in this book. I can say yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes, because even I am more into stories. I'm not much into self-help motivation, these kind of books, because I don't know why. I just know that I like stories and I like
Right.
reading stories because I do it for entertainment. I don't do it for English. I do it for entertainment. So these kind of books I start because they are quite famous. Atomic Habits, Rich Dad Poor Dad, because I'm not much into finance, investment, or improving yourself, these kind of things. So if I start reading it, maybe one or two pages, that's it. I cannot continue doing it. They are quite famous and many people recommend, like once in your lifetime, you have to read these books. But still, I don't go for it. I even don't have the thought of starting reading it because I know maybe I won't be able to complete it. They are just boring to me.
Exactly, ma'am. Because when you do not take interest of anything, so doing that thing becomes very, very boring and even a little more sophisticated when, even though the language of the book is quite normal, but it will feel you very boring and not reading like it. So
Mm.
usually what I do, I when I try to force myself to read the book intentionally, deliberately, so my mind goes somewhere else. I'm reading the
Mm.
book means yeah, for I'm doing formality. My mind is somewhere else. After reading the same page, I'm going to read once again. I will find, oh my God, I didn't read it consciously. It happens
Mm.
when you don't
Mm.
have interest about something. Yes, ma'am. So I will watch that, ma'am. Chetan Bhagat book. What is the name of that book, ma'am?
There are a lot of books of Chetan Bhagat. You must have heard movies also, Two States. That book was written by him. So there is also a Girl in Room 105. So you can read that. So there are a lot of story books like that, which is written, which are very interesting. And he's an Indian author. So the script is very easy to understand. The words are very easy to understand. You can follow it easily. And it is also a mix of everything: drama, romance, thriller, suspense, everything. So you will feel like reading it. You can do your own research and find out what you would like to read.
Exactly, ma'am. So usually in watching videos, what I do, I when I start watching anything, maybe reel. So when I try to watch that thing, so I find that that other person is talking to me, saying all the things, and things are going
Hmm.
to fix in my mind after some time. And even while I'm taking nap, so sometimes when I close my eyes, I find that that story is still going on in my mind. It happens. While reading, ma'am, it never happens. It never happens when you're reading. So we are forcefully trying to make visualize those things that what is going on in this story what which I'm reading now. So
Hmm.
that is the hard part somewhere. But if we try to inculcate this habit of reading, so it would be also better for us because we are doing many things. Like when we are speaking louder, so we are hearing and speaking and
Hmm.
reading. So there are many exercises going on simultaneously.
Hmm.
But it's really hard to develop this habit. I've seen
Yes,
people like
yes.
this.
Maybe you need to do more research and you have not found the right kind of book to start off. So yeah,
Exactly,
try.
ma'am.
Try your best.
Exactly, man. Because man, when I started my journey, so I had no clue where to start and where to go, what to follow, what not to follow. So whatever I would found, yeah, I would find. So I started doing that. So many things I have done in this journey, and even I was doing a job. So my job was very hectic. To a lot job was that. So because of that, I couldn't even talk to people more than 5 or 10 minutes in 4 to 5 months. That's why
Hmm.
I found that yeah, I break that chain. So, but after that again, I started watching and talking. So and now I feel that somewhat I'm okay with that, ma'am. Yeah.
Hmm. And English is your passion or your necessity? Why exactly are you learning? Because your job profile, do you have to talk to students in English?
No, ma'am. So unfortunately, I try hard to talk to them in English language, but they are not willing to do that. They are craving, ma'am. I can understand. I know the feeling because earlier 1.5 year back, I was also craving for English. I wanted to speak in English. So I know that they are also craving, but they are not willing to do that because they have to come out from their comfort zone. Because now
Hmm.
they feel when they are talking to me. So I think I have been doing the same thing for a long time. So it is not very hard for me. It is quite a little bit hard for me, but not very hard. So compare. So they try to compare myself with their English level. They are able to understand, but that's why they do not join me. And every day I try to tell them. I tell them that listen, try to understand. I am here, so I can help you. Whatever I know, at least I can give you company. Whatever you know, whatever is coming out from your mouth, start speaking. But they are not doing it at all. And I know they will have definitely regret about that. And I mentioned this thing with them. That definitely you will have regret, same as
Hmm.
me. Because
Hmm.
ma'am, yes, ma'am. Because I tell you, ma'am, when I was 26 and a half year, that
Oh.
time means that time I have means only I'm 28, and when I was 26 and a half years old, that time I was not familiar with the English. When we talk about the subject English, then it was okay, means I was mediocre, not quite good, not very bad.
Hmm.
But English was introduced to me 1.5 year back as a spoken English. So I started speaking, ma'am, and now I feel that whatever I started doing, now I feel very happy, and I'm very grateful to the people, those who upload the content on social media, and I especially thanks goes to social media because of social media. Now I'm talking to you, and I was literally craving for this conversation. I wanted to talk to you, ma'am, literally.
Hmm.
Because when I see a good speaker, so I can't stop myself. Though I have a little bit, I can say problems from inside. I feel that what if I get stuck in between? I'm going to talk to a professional and expert. But still, when I start doing it, so it is going well, ma'am. Now,
Hmm.
yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah. Go ahead. I think you have some questions for me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, exactly,
Yeah. Yeah.
ma'am.
Go ahead.
I have
Please.
many questions, but if I tell you, ma'am, so sometimes when I talk to people and I deliberately try to ask questions, so I do not get. That's the main problem.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
ma'am, as of now, I think according to my level, ma'am, please suggest me what should I do more because I think there are many things which I need to do. And I found you. Let me compliment you, ma'am, once again. I found you that you do not think about something. It seems like it is your mother tongue, English. When you speak, it seems like it is your mother tongue because I'm trying hard to find that pace. Sometimes I speak little slowly and sometimes I go in little high. So my pace is not certain. And your pace is certain and you speak in a flow. So how to get that flow, ma'am?
You need a lot of practice, I would say, because I am speaking this from many, many years. Along with my native language, I learned English. So it is one of the languages which I learned very early in my life. So that is why I have the flow, and I usually when I approach a stranger, the first language that comes to me is English. So that is how much I am into English. I have been talking all my life, so that maybe that is a result of what I am speaking now. So I think you need that kind of practice. Also, when I'm thinking only about English. When I talk to somebody, if I have a session next day, I am talking to myself. So when I have to write down a script, I'm talking to myself. So since my childhood, I've been talking to myself. You might find it weird, but I'm talking to myself in English. So you need to be so much mad about it. Then you will see how easy it is for you also to speak in a flow And even in midnight, if somebody wakes you, English is the first language which will come to you. So you need that kind
Oh,
of dedication and practice, I would say, all the time English, 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 and you will become English very soon.
exactly, ma'am. So, ma'am, what happens with us? Sometimes when I try to talk in my native tongue and in my regional language, that is Awadhi. So, after some times when I have to just switch my language, Awadhi to English, so I find, oh, I'm going to switch it. So it gives me some kind of, yeah, it takes me a little force to do that. So,
Mm,
and when it becomes very easy for you that you are switching languages or not, you even do not think about it consciously. So
mm.
it will happen after some time, only after practicing 2 and 3 years.
Yes, yes, a lot of time. And when you're talking in your native language, also here and there, try to use English. Try to mix up the two languages and speak. So very easily, you won't know that you're switching from one language to the other. Try to include English in your native language also.
Exactly,
Because if
ma'am.
you speak only in English, people might have an objection or they might be not be answering you properly. So here and there, try to use English words.
Exactly, ma'am. Exactly. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this. So, ma'am, tell us a remedy about the intermediate level speakers. I found that approx 80% of viewers are on intermediate level. When they have to jump over advanced level or upper intermediate level, so they try very hard for that. So, what should they do for that, ma'am? Is there any specific thing that they should follow? I'm
See,
one of
we
them.
have been, yeah, following some techniques to reach from beginner to intermediate. So those are a different kind of techniques. Now, from intermediate to advanced, you need a lot of advanced vocabulary. You need phrases, and one more challenge is you're not know like not trying to use fillers. So it depends on a person's goal, what they exactly lack in. Because when you say intermediate, there might be some things that they have to improve, like pronunciation or vocabulary. It depends on their field. What some people are really, really bad at pronouncing some words, and fluency by this time you are in intermediate level, you are already fluent. So other than that aspect, you try to focus on what you want to improve. When you say intermediate, what you want to improve, you're calling yourself intermediate because you are not able to pronounce some words properly, or you are not able to include new vocabulary. Today, if you have learned a new vocabulary, try to keep it in front of you and revising that word again and again. And since you're having sessions regularly, try to use those words in your next session. So very small things you have to add on to your daily practice in order to reach an advanced level. And it also depends on what you mean by advanced level, what you want to improve. So you will have to make a plan of your own.
Exactly, ma'am. It means there are many things to work on and focus on.
Mm,
We can't stick to a particular thing that I would only work on this thing and I would become advanced level speaker. There are many aspects like pronunciation and many things are there, ma'am. And especially one thing you mentioned, ma'am, about vocabulary. So when I try to work on vocabulary and deliberately I try to use that in sentences, it's really very hard for me, and I think I am unable to do that. I'm really unable to do that. Sometimes it may come in my mind subconsciously, unknowingly, it may
mm,
come sometimes, but when deliberately I'm trying to do it, it's very hard, ma'am. It
mm.
happens.
Yeah, you need to write down those words and you need to write sentences using those words. And when you're having the next session, try to keep the words in front of you or where you're visible, and you prepare for the next session, right? At that time, you try to use those in sentences. Write down the sentences which you can use in the next session using those words. So, like that, when you use it like 5 or 6 times, it will become a part of your speech. But other than that, if you're just reading, listening, and leaving it there, it won't become a part of your speech. You will just forget them. So when if you want to if you want to bring that into your language, you need to use it continuously.
Exactly, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. And ma'am, one more thing I want to ask you, request you that there are four aspects of learning, like reading, listening, and these things are very prevalent, quite known by the people. So if a person has very limited time, I have a lot of time, ma'am. I can follow all these four things and
Mm,
even more than that. So
mm.
if a person has only 30 minutes or 1 hour, so what should he or she do to practice English? And so that can become a, a very useful for that person. Because if a person has only 30 to 40 or 50 minutes and doing these four things, so that person, I don't think, ma'am, that person will be able to talk in next 6 months as well. So what
Hmm.
should he or she do?
See, I would say that there are some things which you don't need to remove separate time for, like listening. You can put it into your practice, like when you're commuting to your office or you're going somewhere doing your household chores. You can put that thing into practice. You don't need separate time for that. Then, writing and reading, it depends on the person's interest. If your job calls for a lot of writing, you're already doing that practice. Okay. So the next thing is the reading. Try to read 1 page a day, 5 minutes. You know, how much time will you take for reading 1 page? Okay, just 5 minutes a day, and try to read out loud so that you will get most out of it. It will also act as a speaking practice for you. You can improve your sentence structure, grammar, vocabulary, everything. 1 page a day, and try to do it repeatedly, the same page again and again. Okay. And if you have like 1 hour, for example, I'm saying if you have 1 hour separately for that, you have to give at least 50% of timing for speaking, because that is the most challenging part, which I feel, because many people are very good when it comes to writing. When I read the mails, it is very good, but when I talk to the person, it is not that very good, honestly. So you need more time for speaking, because that is the most challenging aspect. 50% of the time you have to remove for speaking. Speak alone, indulge in conversations. There are a lot of things which you can do when you're alone as well. So give 50% of time to speaking, 30% to listening, and the rest 20% you can divide into reading and writing. And listening, as I told you, do a lot of listening whenever you have free time. Like you also say that whenever you are watching a lot, you're listening a lot. So that is how you can do. And nobody is so busy that you can't remove even half an hour for it. At least 20 minutes of speaking practice is a must. The other things can get compromised, but when you speak, it is difficult. You have to be consistent. If you take a break, you feel that again you don't know things. You have to start from scratch. I forget, I don't know what to speak next. It happens with everybody. Even advanced level speakers, if they stop speaking for some considerable time, again to speak for them, it will be difficult. So just be consistent.
Exactly, ma'am. It happened with me. My ma'am experience, my real experience. I told you about that when I skipped my speaking part, especially speaking part, because
Mm.
I was in the touch of watching things, so it was normal for me. I would take some times for that at that point of time. But when it comes to speaking, and even this time, ma'am, when I have to talk to people after you, I will feel that my job is done. So this,
Mhm.
I'm not doing it deliberately. My subconscious mind says that your Babo, your job is done. Don't do it. Only watch, because that time only even I'm when I'm lying on the bed and I'm doing anything, so I can watch and I can listen that. But when we have to practice, especially in video call, ma'am, we have to take
Yes.
care of all the things, ma'am. So
Mm.
it's really little hard. But doing the this thing, this is the very useful tips, ma'am. Thank you so much for it.
Mhm. And if you
Exactly.
like something, you will do it no matter what.
Exactly, ma'am. Exactly. And forcefully, I think, ma'am, doing something in order to learn English and doing something forcefully, if you do not enjoy even 1%. So
Mm.
I think we should turn that, and we should find next option for that.
Yes.
Or we will
Yes.
definitely find option.
Mm.
Exactly, ma'am.
Mm.
So, ma'am, please, I want my feedback, ma'am. Please tell me, because whenever I talk to an expert, so I want feedback. Please tell me, ma'am.
Your fluency is very good. Your pronunciation is on point. Even your grammar is good. What else feedback should I give? Because you are a complete package. You're good in everything. I think you need more speaking practice, and I think you're judging yourself that you are not good enough. But you are really good. Just watch the recording. You are very good. There's nothing like I can point out and tell you improve on this aspect. Maybe here and there you have a MTI, mother tongue influence here and there when you pronounce some words. But other than that, you're very good. Just be consistent.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Exactly. I want these kind of compliments because I want to learn more, ma'am. Yeah, that was the thing. So really, it's your nobility, ma'am, that you are saying. I don't feel that. I think that there are many things which I need to learn. Then I would become and I would become a good speaker when I will
No, no,
have
no,
that
no.
ego.
You're already a very good speaker. You're good enough to be a tutor, actually. You can teach people. Your English is that good.
Oh my God. Oh my
Mhm.
God. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Wow. I'm so happy,
Okay.
ma'am. I'm over the moon. Yes, ma'am. I'm over the moon. Thank you so much, ma'am, for having me in conversation with you. I'm so happy, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank
much,
you for
ma'am.
joining me and giving me your time. So good luck. Keep practicing. Have a good day.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye bye.